Hello everyone, how you doing today? Thought I would show some creations kind of randomly from the workshop, although I was kind of going through the like the most popular list and just checking out some particular ships and different things that caught my eye and cool screenshots and things I didn't look at up close in the past. Um, to start with here, we have the FEV-CMS3 Cherokee by Irelia. Very cool looking SV. Love how the design, the thrusters, the little parts on here. Like again, landing gear. Like building an assembly for landing gear on the bottom of the ship. How the wings are really defined. The texture and coloring also looks really good. It's got that military look to it. Different details like the rear wings and the detail in the blocks go into those, as well as some deco pieces and other things like that. Plus, it also does have an interior, and it's done quite nicely. They left the cargo boxes with the default texture, but I guess that makes it easier to see, and a location for like the warp drive embedded in there, and where the core is displayed, and all kinds of different things like that. Some RCS in here as well. That now, of course, all these builds are going to be older. Some don't work so well anymore. This one, let's take a look at the stats here a minute. Yeah, so this one isn't designed for CPU either. It was built before then, so I believe something like this, looking at the CPU numbers on it, could be, I think you can go to 60,000 CPU in vanilla by putting in the core blocks. Oh, no, actually it's 100,000. I think it's 60,000 in Reforge Eden. My fault on that. So other than that, I think this could work again. But a really cool ship. It kind of inspiring again. I love the look of it. Awesome work on this one. And most of these authors, again, haven't been active on the workshop for a good amount of time, or I haven't seen anything new from them at least. But yeah, very cool ship on the first one. Great looking shape, design, complexity, color scheme, whole ball of wax. So can't complain about that one. This may be a prefab, but I'm not 100% sure on that. I for some reason thought it was at one point in time. Next, we got the Thanatos by MisterCrow and MisterCrow. I'm sorry, not Mr. Crow, MisterCrow. And this is kind of a classic. This has been around for a very long time. I think I seen this new one shortly after I got started with the workshop and actually putting some things on the workshop, dating back many years ago now. So this one, I noticed it doesn't want to power up because of CPU. Not exactly sure. It's got fuel and stuff like that, but it is quite a bit over the CPU. I thought it would still power. Oh, it's actually just not on. Oh, yeah. I could try turning the on-off button. I guess when I spawned it, most things are on. This one, for whatever reason, was off when I spawned it. Really cool looking tank, though. Different color scheme. Weapons are laid out nicely. This was an older vanilla build, obviously. And again, this does have an interior. So we've got everything kind of laid out in the interior. Again, it even tells you ammo specs, all your different parts and things like that. God, these almost look like core blocks, don't they? But they're just storage box. Yeah, very cool. I want to see what this looks like. Night lighting too. Yeah, it's got a cool look to it. Yeah, kind of. It's glittery. It's shiny. There's a lot to look at. Everywhere your eyes will look, there's more to see, and I definitely dig that. It's kind of something when I'm building something too. Before it's usually done, I'll look at like the interior areas, and I'll move the camera or move my view around, And it's like, say I look at this wall here, and it's like, yeah, that looks good. It's nice and detailed. Then I turn my camera or turn the view over here, and it's like, oh, that's kind of plain. There's not much going on there. This area looks better than that area. So that is a cue to make this other area look, fitting. And then I'll do that. I'll try to do that for like the entire ship. Anywhere you look, any angle you look at, anything at, you want to always see something to look at. And of course, a lot of that stuff can raise size class if you're getting into a lot of complex blocks and things like that. Or, well, I won't even say complex blocks. Blocks with more polygons to them, such as pipes and things like that. They will shoot up size class. So will lights, but lights do so much. But no, I thought this was a really cool design looking tank. Get back over to daylight a minute, and just wanted to kind of give some tribute to a lot of the past authors that contributed towards the workshop, and in turn the game itself by supporting it with their creativity, using all the blocks and parts and everything to make some really cool stuff. Quite inspiring. Love the design of this. I think, I can't remember, but I think this came out before I released the Basilisk, and I do remember that it kind of gave me the idea of how the Basilisk was designed to make the thruster pods, and this kind of has that, although the Basilisk was just bigger, and I basically built these thruster pods and put them out on little arms out there, and I think this was one of the inspirations of building that particular tank. Also, it was for a 0G challenge to build a tank, and that was actually my first tank I ever made for the game. I didn't even make any tanks, on releasing them prior to that, because I really didn't use a lot of HVs when I was playing the game back in Alpha 5 and Alpha 6. I was mostly into SVs and then into CVs. And some bases too, definitely. But yeah, awesome work on this as well. One of the classics. So next on the line here is we have the here, let me make sure I get the Oldworld Outpost by HP Strangelove. And this is another definitely older creation. Now keep in mind, all these creations that I'm showing today were all 5-star rated as well. So I was basically, again, going through the most, I'm not sure if I was going through the most subbed or most popular list. They're similar. And kind of looking at some of these, and some of these that I think I seen this one when it first hit the workshop as well. Kind of a large base. This might have been a prefab as well in the game. But it's kind of an unusual take on the hangar door system, where it's running 2 opposing hangar doors to get a higher height up there. But it's essentially a base. I got a particular base. God, what did I call that now? Oh no. Oh, the Waypoint Compound had some characteristics of this, of how how some of these turrets were placed around the 4 corners of the base for protection, things like that. Kind of some, and a generally kind of a square setup. I mean, this is more rounded and things like that. And I'm just thinking, back in the time when this was built, they didn't actually have solar panels in the game, and it looks like it was simulated to have solar panels. I'm just thinking, what some of these could be now if they were, all spruced up, and or if the original authors ever came back, they'd probably really find a lot of neat stuff they could do that they couldn't do back in the time when they built these. That are just more features, more parts, more colors, more everything to work with. So inside of this, basically, it's well set up for a player survival base. So you got your repair bay, even some internal hangar protection. Let's go take the elevator up here a minute. So I imagine that just goes out the front door there. We'll go up to the next floor. Right here. Ah, arrows. Hey, I've done that before too. I didn't realize this one actually did though. And then yeah, big farm section in here. And these older creations too, when you actually planted stuff, like in a survival game, they would come through on the blueprint, but it didn't charge you for the seeds or anything. It's just they were there. I found the same thing when I released the Manticore. I used that in game. I had crops planted in it, and when I uploaded it to the workshop, all those crops remained. So it was set up to make specific food, like basically canned vegetables. And this one's doing that. Oh, and plant fiber. Plant fiber was a biggie too, to make more grow plots, so you could grow more stuff, so you could grow more plant fiber, so you could make more grow plots. It was kind of a cycle there. But no, this is really cool too. I want to take a look at how this looks at night as well. Again, to me, lighting is so important. That's why it's nice to spawn stuff in the daytime. You can take a look at it day and night. And I guess there's not a whole lot of lighting going on in here. It's mainly just the grow lights. But back at the time too, lights were much more limited. When these were made, you could not do like the spotlight stuff and the different like angles and a lot of the features that the lighting does now. Let's see what's behind here. Oh, a locked up fridge. So basically, yeah, hangar base. Here, there's one more section in here, a couple more sections that I'm missing. Now, when you come straight through the base from the hangar, there's also another area back here. Kind of goes over some of that lower floor area, and then it gets into a core over here. I think there's another room. I was looking at this slightly before the video just to get an idea. Oh yes, through this door here. And then you've got like an engineering area with the generators and that kind of stuff, which is kind of cool. I love seeing like separated, dedicated engineering rooms on a large enough creation. Obviously, you're not going to be doing that with really small stuff, but it is kind of neat. But anyway, very cool base design. Looks like it's well defended. God, does the reforged radars work on bases? I don't think so. But yeah, it does have the radar too. So you know, the deco radar. So that's always a bonus. Gotta love the radar. So next one here is one that I've seen a lot of modded versions to on the workshop over time, and this is the original Halifax, I believe, by Stangry. Stangry. So it sounds like angry, but with the ST in front of it. So Stangry. And it's a Halifax-Frigate, and yeah, there's a lot of variations of this now. A lot of people took this design and made modded versions of it. So I've seen a lot of the modded versions, but I've never actually seen the original. So I thought I would take a look at that. What this ship does really neat is, to me, it almost looks like a ship that could fit in the Expanse universe. Especially, you know, if it was colored, well, even how it's colored. It's got that kind of more plausible space look to it. Like it's not trying to be a fighter bomber or anything else. It's trying to be a spaceship, and it's kind of, you know, it's more or less a rectangle, but that's efficient in space. It's got a lot of fluctuations and details to it throughout the body, so it does not have a consistency like from the front to the back. Everything's a little different. Like in the middle of nowhere, coming out with like a black thruster unit around the white rest of it, plus little things on the side, like some little blocks here, this cut in the front area, which I think is very cool. And it looks like it's got quite a few weapons mounted throughout it too. So beyond just a kind of a frigate, this set up for some combat as well. And also, let's see, taking a look inside, looks like you got kind of a smaller hangar kind of in the center. Let's go take a look in the back here. Oh, okay, so we got some massive generators here. Looks like a warp core. And yeah, RCS. You're going to see a lot of RCS in the older creations because that was just a thing that you had to do, or the ships didn't turn at all. So, and the more RCS, the better they turned. And CVs were never a big deal, but larger SVs and HVs took just a tremendous amount of RCS to move around nicely, which that is a thing of the past now. Oh, interesting take on the repair bay here too. So looks like, you know, if that works pretty good, I've always put repair bays in the center of the floor, but this is more out of the way. I'll have to test that mechanism to see if that actually is works out well. It could spawn a little bit different future design on something at some point in time, and actually take up a little less space potentially. I never, a lot of times when I put in repair bays in the hangar, what happens is I got it like a one block row below, kind of like what this ship has as well, and that forces me to seal that off, so I'll have to like add some more blocks on the bottom so I could put like a thin wall over it, so you don't lose oxygen through the repair bay. But I didn't realize it could possibly work that way. I'll have to test that, see how that actually works out. But anyway, this is just another one of those classic ships that are out there. Let's go upstairs, and one I always wanted to take a look at. Like I said, I do think it has a really cool design to it. Yeah. So then you got a crafting area over here. Hit all these different doors, and of course you got the farm over here. You can tell the age again because you see growing crops in the farm, and that is just again something that you won't see on any newer blueprints. Just something that it used to say for whatever reason. And then you've got your bridge up here. Now this one is a third-person only controlled ship. No, actually it's not, is it? Let's get to that bridge over there. It looks like it's set up for. No, these are just passenger seats. No, that's a pilot seat there though. Okay, so it does have pilot seats there, kind of like a more of a secure bridge. And then let's see, where do we go up to the top visible bridge? Probably right up here. Nope, that's right off the top of the ship. So we head out this way and then up another flight of stairs. Okay, so here is your first-person viewing seat on here. So yeah, so you can kind of look around, see what's going on. Spec-wise, well, yeah, obviously built before CPU, so anything under 10 million obviously works fine with a CV. So with some CPU core blocks in here, it could be easily used. Just wanted to see it. It's got 3 RCS, so you could probably cut those as well, and save a little bit more CPU, especially if they're the advanced ones. They're very expensive for CPU. So, and you know, some other changes here and there. Whoops, wrong button. All right. Anyway, yeah, another classic with a whole lot of modded versions out there. Just wanted to take a look at it, see how it actually was shaped and designed. It does kind of give me some ideas. At some point, I was thinking about making another Expanse-inspired like ship, but I wanted to do something a little more authentic that would fit in the show Expanse better. But I got to get through my current projects before I even consider anything like that. I did what I believe the MCRN needs, and I haven't done anything for the MCRN in a while, is they need a good game combat ship. Something like kind of like the Tachi, but the Tachi was, you know, so specific, being a replica, that a lot of the game functions I don't think are super wonderful on it. It does have a lot of stuff, but like the landing and taking off and stuff like that, and loading stuff into the hangar, those kind of things are all, because it was a replica and had to look a certain way, didn't really function super well in Empyrion. But a new design probably could, especially if it was designed to deal with that kind of thing. So anyway, awesome work on this one too. So another classic. So this one was a bit of a wild card. I was seeing this in the list, and thought the screenshot that I seen looked really, really cool. And this is more of a Star Trek inspired ship, and this is the OSC Expedition by Neal. I'm sorry, the OSC Quasar class by Neal. And keep in mind too, I'm going to have all the links of these ships on the video description. So this is kind of a take on a Star Trek inspired ship, or at least it looks that way to me. So pretty cool design. Trying to do the big front curve thing. Now this one didn't want to like use fill up this space here, so I actually did kind of like angled arms out to the outer section over here, and did a pretty good job. I mean, the blocks are going to limit you a lot on trying to do a large round structure like this that doesn't have obvious slants and things in it, but this was done pretty well. Now there were some newer Star Trek inspired creations that I've seen on the workshop too. I have not checked any of those out yet, and I always have thought about trying to do some kind of Star Trek inspired ship too, but I was always worried about the front of the ship, just knowing that it's kind of impossible to do an accurate large round object with the blocks in the game. If it was smaller, you can kind of pull it off a little bit better, but this size, yeah, there's not a lot you can do with it. And I bet you when this was built too, it didn't have the extra blocks. Like I'm looking at these corners over here, and I bet you. Yeah, let's, do I have any blocks on me? Let me grab something here. Concrete, well, I don't care what kind of block it is right now. Hard steel, yeah, they're like in these corners over here, there's like multiple options that could have been done, but I bet you these blocks weren't around. Like this one, you could have had those in the corners, or you could even try to go for curvy action like that. So there's definitely some options now that could thoroughly enhance stuff. Again, if any of these authors that ever made any of these ships ever want to come back to the game and check it out, you can do more now than ever with ship designs, parts, colors, blocks, and I hope more is to come. I am certainly wanting some more blocks myself at this point in time. Sorry, I couldn't help it. But yeah, anyway, it's a pretty cool ship. Let's go take a walk inside here and take a look at how this one's set up here. Oh yeah, hangar's nicely set up. I certainly believe this was predating the new storage systems. We got the old school harvest boxes and cargo boxes. And that's all there was, you know, back in the day. So you didn't have like the new storage systems. Weights and volumes didn't matter. Well, it didn't matter how much weight you'd have in a ship. It didn't care. So you could literally have a ship that, you know, had just a few lift thrusters on it that could like enough to take off the ground. It didn't matter what you were carrying in it. And these cargo boxes too were set up where like you could fill up all these slots, and they didn't have volumes. You could have a full stack of whatever. It could be a full stack of combat steel blocks in every one of these slots, and that's how they worked with storage. There was no like volume. It was easier, but I do after dealing with weights and volumes for quite a long time now, I actually would hate to go back to the older system because it's simpler. And there's just, it doesn't have as much complexity to it, I think is my biggest issue with it now. I would miss it. I would miss having that extra complexity and stuff of putting in the cargo extensions and boxes and whatnot. It's kind of like a bit of a weird kind of blocky Tetris challenge or something sometimes when you're trying to fit a lot of blocks around other things. Kind of digging this this glass walkway over the hangar too. That's kind of neat. Gets you from one side of the ship to the other, and looks like we got a central elevator going up. I did this same thing in the Hecate, or I guess I usually call it Hecat carrier which had a like a bridge up there, and the hangar was the entire lower part of the ship, and the only way to get up to the bridge was to make some kind of walkway above the hangar to get there, and that's kind of what I did. So it's a little bit similar layout to what that is there. So yeah, up on the next floor here, well, this one's got lights in it, so let's take a look at what this looks like in the dark too. If I notice that I see lighting in a ship, I usually like to see what it would look like. Typically, when you're out in space with the lights on, it could enhance the looks a little bit more, for sure. I like how this this inner wall here is done with the curves. So it looks like there was some pretty some of these newer blocks. I don't unless maybe that's a very old block, and maybe it's just something I never used much. But that's kind of neat. I like the smooth round where you don't really see any polygons. Kind of gives you a little bit more of a, I don't know, Star Citizen kind of feel to it, or something like that, or higher detail level in geometry. A nice little fridge area. Oh, we got a cinema. Oh, look at that! It really does have a cinema. Wow, that's cool. Movie screen, bunch of seats in there to check that out. I think these things cost CPU now. Oh, not sure why. And then we've got some pretty good sized farm section over here as well, right next to the crafting. So yeah, everything looks like it's laid out pretty nicely for working on different stuff. You have the quarter. So quartermaster, I'm thinking, or just crew quarters. Probably crew quarters. Okay. Oh yeah, shower. We got toilet. Yep. We got the glass shower in it. Yeah. So let's see. So back over here, personnel armory. Oh, okay. So we got some more. A bunch more storage over here. Armor repair and locker. Couple lockers. Let's go over to the other side. Medical. Oh, yeah. So it's got the whole the medical setup in here too. Yeah, air. Even some extra little things. Very cool. I like having the name tags. It's kind of like you don't get lost very easily because you're always like seeing where you're going. Ship armor. Oh, it's even set up for carrying the ammo types that the ship has. Ah, very cool. And ship armory too. So yeah, and the rest of them. Okay, that's cool. Interesting idea there. And we got an engineering area. Ooh, look at this. All kinds of spiffy stuff going on in here. Huh. Yeah, a bunch of like the ATMs. We got our generators, warp core. Warning sign that high heat and radiation. I like how this is kind of recessed in the room with the parts on display. Something I like to definitely do too. Some of these parts get pretty detailed, and if you can put block work and things around them to, rather than hide them, to actually kind of try to show them off in a neat way, so it looks like they're meant to go there. That's definitely a concept I like to do as well when building stuff. And I do like this idea here too. So yeah, I've never seen this ship or anything actually by this author up close before. So I see a lot of the principles and concepts are very similar to my thinking and building a lot of this ships and stuff too, or like all around CVs. Oh, very, very cool. And let's see, was there any more rooms in here? No, actually probably, ship core. Okay, let's go up another floor here. Oh, this is different. Kind of, ship's core. I wonder what's going on with this. Oh, okay, the CPU core. Or, I'm sorry, the regular core. Okay, that makes sense. I wonder if that's protected pretty good. Oh, wow. This thing looks like it's got a couple layers, I would say, or a whole lot of blocks in here. Oh, what material is this made of? Oh, I don't have a multi-tool. I don't have a multi-tool. Oh no. Oops. There we go. Combat steel. Okay. So I'm starting to think that this thing is kind of really quite designed for combat. Yeah, look at all the RCS in there. You can tell by the age of it. You wouldn't see that many RCS in a newer ship, I wouldn't think. But yeah, there's a lot of block work in this, so it actually looks like it's quite tough, especially on the front end here. I'm not seeing lag shock, but I am seeing a lot of blocks. When you can see through this much without obstructions, you know it's pretty solid. So yeah, interesting. Kind of neat with the how the hangar kind of sits down as like a separate module too, and then you kind of go up from the hangar into the ship. Well, anyway, yeah, just another one I wanted to take a look at. One last thing. Let's take a look at what we're looking at here. Okay, so size class 9. This is a larger, more expensive ship, but it's got quite a lot of weaponry on it. Again, it would be vanilla weaponry. It ship this day and time would need CPU blocks. Yeah, it would need some work to get it operational with today's standards in the game. Looking at the CPU is very far over 10 million. And that's probably due to a lot with the blocks and the RCS in it. In fact, how many RCS does this actually have in it? 114. Yeah, that's probably the bulk of that CPU right there. If those were eliminated, I bet you they're advanced RCS. I wouldn't imagine there'd be anything but advanced RCS. I'm just curious how much. Yeah, look at each one of those. So there's 114 of them at 1.25 million CPU apiece. So that is definitely explains the extremely high CPU numbers on it. But yeah, even like this, I think with a little bit of tweaking could work again in the game just fine. Very cool. Anyway, so that's this week's ships, and I might get into like a regular thing. I'm gonna keep on like going through the workshop, and I'm trying to pick different authors each time too. Not that I really care who the author is. It makes no difference when I'm looking. I'm not playing favoritisms whatsoever. I don't want to do that. It's just anything that like catches my eye in like the top lists I've been checking out. Now there's been a lot of new creations on the workshop that are also looking like more and more amazing all the time, and I'll have to look at those one of these days too. So it's not like I'm just looking at the old stuff. It's just I'm trying to. There's a lot to look at. Put it that way. It's a very, very big workshop, and what I'd really like to find is some hidden gems as well. You know, some that might have not made it super popular, but they probably should have. It's just at the time they were overlooked, or maybe there was other foul play things going on the workshop, and they never got really noticed. Those are things I would definitely like to see as well. But that's all I've got for today. I'll probably be back Monday with another video on the space station. I hope to get some good serious work done to that over the weekend. It's been taking longer and longer for me to upload videos. It's like the last one, it took me an hour and 34 minutes, I believe, to upload a 47-minute video. It's it's doable, but it's just, yeah, if I wanted to do like a full build, I'm going to have to really get my act in gear and get into like streaming, because just doing like video by video, it's they run too long. It takes way too long to do these areas, and I hate to like start something and then like not finish it. Kind of like in the last video with the space station, I really I wanted to finish the top of it, but I can see now that I could probably put another couple hours into the top of it before it's actually finished, after I get it textured and get the inside block work done on it, and keep on fiddling with it until I think it looks better than it does currently. It was also suggested to keep that area flat for landing on the last video, and one thing about that is, technically, I guess, it is a repair bay, and I guess ships could land on it, but it's not needed. I don't know. I want to make it work and look good. So that's the goal. And I've got some ideas. I was looking at the kind of simplistic shape of it and how it was set up, and I'm thinking I can do a lot more with that, especially with changing a few blocks around here and there, and coloring and texturing it, and maybe a little bit of block work. I don't know, messing with the windows some more and stuff like that. But anyway, you all have yourself a great weekend, and I'll probably be checking out the May Designers Challenge tomorrow. I believe that's tomorrow at 3 p.m. Excalibur is doing that, and take a look at everybody's starter CVs. All right, see you later.